Hiya.
Hello.
Welcome to Geeky Girls Knit and Cross Stitch. I'm Cece, also known as Java Pearl.
I'm Dammy, also known as Dammy's Doodles.
And we're glad to have you today. Today is Thursday, the 23rd of April, 2020. And this is episode 393. We'd like to say a big welcome back. We love you guys, to all of our returning viewers, and a big hiya to any new viewers. Thanks for giving us a shot. We hope you enjoy the show. The couch is overflowing with yummies because people are awesome and shopping. What do you do in this pandemic climate? You shop. Maybe a little bit too much, but that's okay. So we have quite a bit to show you, so we probably should get started. Here we go.
Now we're going to talk about what's on her needles.
So I've started a new project.
What is it?
You may be saying, they shrunk, Cece. And I'll say, that's because I finished the other pair. I'll tell you in the next segment. So I started a new pair of socks. And again, I'm doing, well, let me tell you what they are first. These are for my bestie Katie's husband, Jeremy, for his birthday. And this is my French vanilla cappuccino sock pattern that you can get on Ravelry on US 1.5, 2.5 mil needles. I'm using the same yarn that I used for the Dr. Hope's birthday socks. If you want to know what they are, go to my Ravelry page because there's 9 colors. So I'm again doing them concurrently on 9-inch circulars that I affectionately call zoom needles because you zoom around in circles. I had Dammy put them in a different order from the last pair. I'm using the same colors for the toes, heels, and cuffs in a different order because they're the ones that I had the most leftovers of. But other than that, I'm using the same 9 colors, just putting them in a different order. So the toes are done on both of them, and I have just started on the first one doing the first color. So that is what will be on my needles for the foreseeable future because Jeremy has big feet. Let me see if I have what shoe size he wears. I keep a note in my phone of stuff. I don't have what shoe size he wears, but I have to knit to 10.5 inches before I start the heel. For comparison, for Dammy and I knit to 6.75 inches. So, that tells you. So, I will be working on these for a little while. So, yeah. That is the only thing that I am working on, but I do have a couple of FOs to show you. So let's move on to the next segment.
Now we're going to talk about her finished projects.
Okay, so here is the first one. This is Preemie hat number 16 for the year. It's my free top-down Preemie hat pattern that you can get on Ravelry. I did it on US 6's 4 mil needles. And the yarn I used, this blue is Lion Brand Heartland in the Glacier Bay colorway. And then I held together, you can tell the color's better in the pom-pom there, Vitalana Ambient Worsted in the Dawn Blush colorway, and Vitalana Dream in the Tapenade colorway. And I used up both of the Vitalana colors. So I always am so happy when I use up the last little bits of a yarn. So, there we go, number 16 for the year. I wanted to tell you, though, I got a Ravelry message this morning. Let me find it. So, this is from Valerie, who is Knit Fantasy on Ravelry. And she is doing a really cool project inspired by my Preemie hats. She's doing shelter-in-place charity hats. And she talks about that she knows that probably this fall there's going to be some parents that are going to have trouble affording warm clothing for their children in the Chicago area. And so she's using her circular knitting machine and making a hat every day to mark the passing of each day of sheltering in place. So she has made 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 14, 21, at least 28 so far. So I was like, that is really cool that she told me that she was inspired by me doing the preemie hats each week to do this. So I was like, that's really cool. So way to go, Valerie, for taking inspiration from, I just feel honored that you were inspired by what I'm doing, but way to go for thinking ahead to what is, right now there's probably not a huge need for the hats, but there will be this fall. So, so I loved reading about that and hearing what she was doing. So I just wanted to brag on Valerie. The other thing I finished, as I mentioned, is Dr. Hub's birthday socks. Here we go. Again, from my French Vanilla Cappuccino sock pattern, on US 1.5's 2.5 mil needles, and I knit them concurrently on the 9-inch circulars. And you can tell, several of the colorways are self-striping. So like this right here, they're the same yarn, but they look so different. And here and here and here and here. So I really love how they turned out, and they have been blocked and are ready for giving in a few weeks. So I'm very proud of myself for getting them done early. So that is what I have finished. So I think we're ready to move on to the next segment. And now it's time for FlossTube. Dammy, tell us about what you're working on.
I'm still working on Rapunzel.
Ooh.
By Unique Door Sign on Etsy.
You're making progress. Yeah. So are those just like little, what is the design on the dress? Is it just like a little bit of like lace kind of detail maybe? Or
it's flowers.
Oh, it's flowers?
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. Well, you're making good progress on it, especially since you're back in school.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have any thoughts on what your next project after this is going to be?
No. No thoughts. Head empty.
It's because you are doing so much learning. And trying to
Nope, head empty of that too.
Oh, and trying to figure out what classes you're going to take this autumn.
Head stressed about that.
Yeah. Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how things are at the end of September.
Yeah, what are you working on?
Okay, well, let me show you this one first. This is in my Outlander to Better to Sleep bag, my Stitch Toolbox. This is called Delivering the Coffee Beans by Homespun Elegance. I'm trying to get to the pretty picture. Here we go. I modified the pattern, though, to have the border be the whole way around. And I have...
Yeah.
Hold on. There we go.
What did you do?
Well, the needle is connected to the project.
Leg bone.
And it magnetized itself to my snippety, which is this thing, by Caddy Cross Stitches on Etsy. Oh, look, we're both using our Star Wars.
This is the only one I have.
The
only bad thing is that needle threaders are so weak that they don't stick to it. They can give you can give yourself dimples with them though.
You should use one of those other ones, the ones that are the completely metal ones.
These ones work the best.
Oh, okay. But there is a magnet right here under the label. So that's what happened, is the needle magnetized itself to the back. And then this is kind of some kind of like felt or something that you can put floss on, and it sticks to it. So like when you pull, well, like you have floss on yours right now.
Yeah.
Anyway, like when you take out a length of floss, but you're only using 2 pieces of it, you can put the rest on here until you're done. Anyway. So now let me show you. So I finished the whole border. I finished the grass, and I'm currently working on the sheep, And it's so fun, the sheep, because it's being stitched. It's not cotton, it's wool floss for the sheep.
It's wool.
And I love it. So, hopefully I can finish up the sheep maybe tonight. We shall see. I also, though, need to... I am having problems, y'all. I'm getting stuff all caught up in my bag. I need to pull back out my Christmas list and make a little bit of progress on it. Just so that, you know, I want to have it finished by in time for decorating for Christmas. So, all right. The other thing is in my Winnie the Pooh bag by Knit Run Dig. Oh, I didn't show this project bag. My the Frankenstein socks are in this beautiful project bag by Nerdbird Makery. So I am working on, where's my picture? Edinburgh Castle, which is huge, by Terra Luna Stitchery. And I am doing it in tent stitch, which means you only do one leg of the X. You don't do a whole cross. You just do one leg. And this is probably going to be hard to see. Well, you can see it because the colors are so light.
It's the sky and the cloud.
This is 1,600 stitches.
See, it doesn't look like that, but it is. I want to feel it. Ooh, the tension.
Okay, so I want somebody to tell me, because I am unsure of this. I thought that the grid lines would be covered, but you can see them. So somebody asked me if you iron it, if the grid lines go away. Does somebody know? Do you like?
Can you tell them what type of fabric it is?
It is 25. Let me pull up my little thing here, because I posted it on Instagram last night. It is...
It might just be because those colors are so light.
25 count gridded Lugana.
Lugana.
So, I don't know, like, are you supposed to, like, wash it when you're done and, like, in warm water and it goes away? Or are you supposed to iron it? Or what? Because you can totally see the grid lines. And I didn't realize it. So, okay, so this is 1,600 stitches out of, oh, I forgot to do the math. Let's multiply 624 by 426. 265,824 stitches.
That's nothing.
And I have completed 0.602 of 1%.
Yay!
So next week, hopefully I'll have 1% done.
Yay!
So what I'm doing is I'm trying to stitch 200 stitches every day.
So 2 blocks.
2 of the 10 by 10 squares. And I didn't bring it over. Maybe I'll show it next week. I am using a program called Pattern Keeper to
keep your pattern?
To keep my pattern. And it is a program that is only for Android devices. Ew. They are working on iOS, but there is no
anticipated release date.
Anticipated release date. So what I did is I had my work phone is an Android phone, and so I downloaded the app on there because I wanted to play with it and make sure I actually liked it and it worked for me before I got a device to put it on, because all we have is Apple devices. So I liked it. So what I ended up doing was buying a Kindle Fire. I think it was the 7. And then side loading Google Play on it so that I could download.
Don't tell everyone about your illegal deeds.
It's not illegal. I side-loaded the Google Play store on it and then downloaded Pattern Keeper, and then was able to export my chart from the phone over. So it is a really nice program. I'll try to remember to show y'all next week. Show it to y'all next week. But you can only use PDF patterns that have been exported in a certain way, so I can't take a physical pattern and scan it myself and be able to put it into the program.
Yeah.
So, yeah. But it's working well, and it's very, very helpful to do a humongous pattern like this is. I'm also continuing to participate in the Semi-Sane Stitchers group on Facebook. I haven't hit any milestones on anything this week, but
I wonder if there's an Edinburgh milestone.
There's not.
There should be.
But
there should be.
I can show you the list of them.
The number of bricks that they used to make it, love. I don't know.
Oops. Where'd it go? Where'd my list go? There we go. Okay, here we go. There you can read all the
Hagia Sophia. Oh, that was the first one.
I am about to be done with Stitch or No Stitch because I'm currently stitching 1,000 stitches, and I'm pretty near to being done with that. And then I only have 3 cases left unopened, and 2 of them are stitches, and 1 is the biggest number of entries into the grand prize drawing that's available in the game. And I'm not going to chance opening another case. I'm going to I'm probably going to take the deal.
Let's make a deal.
So I need to finish those stitches. But no, there's not Edinburgh Castle on the list.
Are they going to add more?
No, that's the whole list for this year.
Oh, this year. Okay.
Yeah.
I thought it was forever.
No, this is the list for this year. The closest thing would be Buckingham Palace in England.
Boo.
And then there was Giant's Causeway in Ireland.
Ireland.
I've completed both of those. Yeah. Now, will I accomplish the largest one of 65,000 stitches? Probably not.
Neuschwanstein Castle in Germany?
Probably not. I've completed 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I've completed 10, and I'm working on 2 of them right now because I decided to make one. I chose one of them to be just working on Edinburgh Castle. I think it was the Sydney Opera House in Australia.
Opera House, alright.
So I have to do 5,110 stitches for that, which means because for the 10 stitches, you have to do 2 stitches to equal 1 stitch. So that means I have to do 10,220 stitches.
10,220 stitches. This is over 10 minutes.
I know.
And we were only talking about 3 projects, I think.
I know, but we were talking about Pattern Keeper.
Done now.
And so that is where we're at for cross stitch for this week. There is a lot of cross stitch stuff in Yummies, so you should stay tuned for that if you're here just for the cross stitch content. Let's move on and talk about all of that. And now it's time for our favorite part of the show, Yummies. What are Yummies, Tammy?
Yummies are our current favorite things we like, things we want to talk to you about.
Yummies. You guys, our friend Lori, who is Lavisa, I don't know how you say it, on Ravelry, is blessing our cross-stitch stash in epic ways. Because we got more stuff from her this week. So, first came this.
I rearranged it into number words.
She did. A Butamus thing. And it's really cool because you unsnap it and there's the lid off.
Although show them the one. No, the top, in the top. If anyone has any idea what this color is, it was the only one without a number and it's very sad. It's DMC. That's all we know. Doo-doo-doo. It looks kind of like the color of your coffee when you've added a reasonable amount of milk to it.
So each level unclips. So there is that. So that came, and it also had some tools in it, some needles and all kinds of little bits of stuff.
Some of them are mine. I'm taking them.
And then we got another box from her yesterday that had, okay, so first up, this is a Gary Patterson design.
This poor cat.
Poor kitty. Poor kitty. So this includes the 14 count Ada, the floss, the needle, the graph, and the instructions.
Oh, hello, kitty.
Oh, she hears us talking about kitties. This kitty kind of has pink coloring.
Oh.
So there's that one. This one is Cat Lover. I want to change it and do it in pink and make the kitty look like pink.
Then what you gonna do with that floss? Is it Dimensions floss or is it DMC floss?
It does not say. It's from Candamar Designs. We would have to open it and look.
Ooh.
So there's that one. And then... Oh,
There's so
of
many.
this floss.
There's so many.
Thank you so much to Lori for all of that. Like I said, she's blessing our cross-stitch stash. Thank you. Okay, and then we got a sweet note from my friend Julia, who is it Geeky?
I would say Jeezy.
On Ravelry, and she wrote us a sweet little note, and there was a couple of flosses.
Oh my goodness.
That we were missing, that we weren't able to get, and so she found one of them, 3103. The other one she couldn't find, but she sent a substitute that it's number 894 that she is calling CC Pink. There, that's a little truer to the color. So, thank you so much, Julia, for sending that to us. So...
Come see us, Pink. Come on. Come
on. Y'all might know that I have kind of fallen in love with the Happy Planner system. And they were having a special where if you bought a sticker pack...
Autumn.
You got a notebook for free. And so I did that. So I bought the fall sticker pack because y'all know how much I love fall. I'm not going to show you all the pages, but I mean, just look at some of these. These. Oh, love them, love them. Some of these back here. Oh, it's lovely. So I bought that. And so, for free, I got this adorable black kitty Happy Notes. And it just has, it came with 3 dividers in it. And, like this not, this dotted grid, that's what I was trying to say, the dotted grid paper in it. So I am using it for craft stuff. Well as my Modern Mrs. Darcy reading challenge, which I need to read 3 more books. One of them is in process, because you have to do a reread. So Harry Potter and the Order of the Phoenix is my reread. Oh. I still need to read a book in translation and a book nominated for an award in 2020. I think I actually may have added a book already to my list for that one. So there was that. We got our Knit Crate shipment.
It's beautiful.
It is brighter than it's showing. That doesn't help matters any.
It's purple. It's difficult.
It's purple with silver. Well, that's a little closer. So with silver stellina. This is Uru Yarn Sugared Sport in the Lapis colorway. 70% superwash merino, 20% nylon, 10% stellina. Sport weight, 100 grams, 300 yards. It is so soft. And it also came with a package of soap in the yuzu scent. Clean with a peel.
Sounds citrus.
Yeah, probably.
Wait, does this... Oh.
And instead of printing the booklet that they normally do for each month's shipment, because of the COVID-19 stuff, they did it as a digital only. Plus, we got a coupon code for soak if we want to order it.
Ooh.
But what I thought I would do is I pulled up the patterns on my phone to show you. So the first pattern is crisscrossed socks by the Modern Renaissance Knitwear. Fingering weight on US 2's 2.75 mil. And does it say? They're cuffed down. So there's that.
Oh, I like that pattern.
Yeah, it's very pretty. And then the next one is the Gala Turban by Carolina DeMonte Knitting Sheep. And this is a crochet pattern for DK weight yarn using a 4 mil G hook and a 5 mil H hook. 4 sizes. There you go. I will help you momentarily. And then this is how would you say the name of that?
Gaudi?
Also by Carolina DeMonte Knitting Sheep. This is a DK weight pattern on US 6's 4 mil needles. A cowl inspired by a Spanish architect. There's that. Looks very cozy.
Mm-hmm.
And then there is the Hearth socks by Louise Bel-Air. Done with fingering weight yarn. This is a crochet pattern, 2.75 mil C hook. 5 sizes. Written toe up. They look very warm and cozy.
Yeah.
And then 2 more. There is the Mic Drop top by Diana Knits. Using sport weight yarn, US 9, 5.5 mil. And it comes in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 sizes. Knit from the bottom up. And then the final pattern is the Net Result top, also by Diana Knits. This is a crochet pattern, sport weight yarn, a 6.5 mil K hook. Comes in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 sizes. And is also done bottom up. So those were the patterns for this month's Knit Crate. And as always, we are sent this to share with y'all, to review for y'all. But they also give us a coupon code. It is all capital letters, Geeky20, GEEKY20, to get 20% off your first order. The code will only work to discount the first month of a recurring monthly subscription and any of their shop items. So, oops, I just dropped my knitting. So thank you so much to Knit Crate for sending this. This month's theme was Luminous. So for sending that to us. Thank you. We have a whole stack over here. Finally, just cross stitch. This is the June 2020 issue. I will say, going in, I was not super thrilled with this issue. It felt very dated for the most part. Here is the gallery of all the patterns. So out of these, which ones? Okay, so page 27. This is a continuation of the series that they started in the last issue. This is the summer tree. And again, if I were to stitch these, I would leave the words off. I can't wait to see the autumn tree. This was designed by Kimberly Tyree of KST Designs. It's a 119 by 161 stitch count, charted in DMC and Sullivan's. They stitched it on a 32 count antique white Jobelin from Wichelt. So I liked that one. I liked this one. Especially because of the cute little sheep. This is by Teresa Mergida of Primitive Acorns. It's 86 by 81. This sample was stitched on 28 count Queen Anne's lace, hand-dyed Jobelin from Witchelt, also charted in DMC and Sullivan's. I don't know that if I will ever stitch it, but I do really like the look of this one. It is by Lee Fisher of Stitchy Fish Designs. It's 170 by 263, but there's a lot of white space. So not all of that is stitched. This was done on 27 count Pyramid Natural from Witchelt, using DMC and Sullivan's. And then I thought this one was cute. This little needle book. Eat, Stitch, Sleep, Repeat. By Charlotte Smith of Charlotte's Web Needlework. It's 64 by 114. Stitched on 28 count antique white cashel linen from Zweigart using DMC or Sullivan's. Was there any that I didn't show that you wanted to talk about?
No.
So, like I said, overall, I wasn't super thrilled. I just, like you can see right there, those are, they're cute, but they remind me of something like that I would have seen like in the 90s when I was cross stitching. So, and it's fine that, they're well designed and everything. They're just not my cup of tea. So, just cross stitch June 2020 issue. So, do we have any other yummies that I did not put in the show notes? That was a lot of yummies. Well, then let's talk about hashtag GGK Crafty Pad. What is it, Dammy?
It stands for Geeky Girls Knit Crafty Photo a Day Challenge. We have a list of photo prompts for each month, so you take a look at the prompt for that day, take a picture related to it, and post it anywhere you like. But we pick our favorites from Instagram.
That's right, and this month's theme has been numbers, and we have released the May list, which is emotions, shapes, and miscellaneous.
Okay.
Yes. So, you will see that in the show notes and here on the screen momentarily. Because we're about to show you something. What are we about to show them, Dammy?
2 photos from us that we liked and 5 photos from other people that we liked.
Here come the photos. So those are our favorite photos. Great job, everybody. It's never too late to join in. You just take a look at the prompt for the day. For today, for example, it's 23, the day that we're recording this. You interpret that however you want. We're very cheater friendly. And then you post it on Instagram. Make sure in your caption you use hashtag GGKCraftyPad because that's how we find your photo. If you have a private account on Instagram and you're participating in GGK Crafty Pad, you need to make sure that Dammy's Doodles is following you, because otherwise we cannot see your photos. So, and then yours might get chosen and featured. Excuse me, hiccup. Upcoming events, potentially, that I'll be attending with the Dr. Hubs. Grazing Hills Fiber Fest in Viola, Idaho, which is Saturday and Sunday, the 11th and 12th of July. Website is ghfiberfest.com, and I'll be teaching a continental knitting class on Saturday the 11th from 10 to noon. So, as of last I heard, it is still scheduled to go on, but as we know, we don't know what's going to happen with this pandemic, so we're being flexible. So, all right, well, I think that is everything for this segment, so let's move on to the next one.
Now we're going to talk about what we are reading, watching, and listening to.
So what are you reading, Dammy?
I definitely got a little behind on Wuthering Heights by Emily Bronte that I was reading with my friends because school started back up and there's a lot of reading.
Yes.
Because, for example, in the past week, I've been reading part of the Dobie Juansi. I'm not pronouncing that right. I can't pronounce the click. By Richard B. Lee. I read Phaedra by Jean Racine, and I also read all of Hernani by Victor Hugo yesterday.
So these are for your culture anthropology and your theater history classes.
Yeah, I'm also reading the Bible. Not all of the Bible.
Are you in where are you reading in the Bible?
We read Genesis 1 to 22, and now we're reading Exodus 1 to 15. I don't know what comes after that.
Leviticus?
I don't know what part reading.
Numbers.
I feel like we might be skipping a large part of like Numbers and Deuteronomy and Leviticus.
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, this is only a quarter, so you're not going to be able to read the entire
and it's
Bible.
not 10 weeks anymore, it's only 8.
You're not going to be able to read the whole thing in 8 weeks and still be able to do all your other classes.
I might.
Okay.
No.
What else are you reading?
The Glass Scientists, which is a webcomic by Sabrina Katingo.
So I know beyond a shadow of a doubt with all of that, you are reading more than 15 minutes a day.
Yes.
What am I referring to?
The April, May, June read along. It's so much work. I feel like we've got a lot more work to do now, even though we are cut short 2 weeks. All our classes are online.
Well, that is because they are trying to cram 10 weeks into 8 weeks. So.
My brain is not made for this.
I'm sorry. So the read along, this is a challenge for you to read 15 minutes a day, every day. I don't care what you're reading, as long as you're reading. Audiobooks do count. There is the seasonal rouse as well as a year-long challenge, which you earn entries into by participating in the seasonal. And then at the beginning of 2021, we'll have 3 grand prize winners who will win a bundle of prizes. All the details
grand prizes.
They are very grand. We don't know what they are yet. But they will be grand.
Okay.
Because last year we didn't pull the bundles together until like the 4th quarter.
Okay.
Because we,
I can't decide which way I want to stitch on this. Okay. Great job, me.
Good job.
I can't decide whether I want to go in through hole 1 or hole 4 first.
It doesn't matter.
I know it doesn't matter, but I keep changing it with every stitch.
Oh, okay. So all the details, like I said, are in the show notes as well as in the Ravelry group, where you post once in the finish line thread and then you go in and edit it every day. You don't have to go in every day, but you have to edit. You have to edit. So, okay, what I am reading. I am still reading Fiber Shed, Growing a Movement of Farmers, Fashion Activists, and Makers for a New Textile Economy by Rebecca Burgess. I am only probably maybe 15% into the book, and it makes me want to get rid of all of my clothing and learn how to sew and make all of my own clothing with natural fabrics.
Okay.
It is intense, but it's good. I'm enjoying reading it. I'm reading it for work, for my job out at the fiber mill. I am continuing to reread Harry Potter and the Order of the Phoenix, which is book 5 by J.K. Rowling in the series. I'm rereading it with Harry Potter and the Secret Text podcast and Swish and Flick and All Potter podcast. This week it was the second half of Professor Umbridge. So
Ew.
the next chapter is when Harry has detention. Oh, that chapter just makes me heartsick. I am reading the Lucy Kincaid series by Alison Brennan. I finished reading books 4 and 5. This is an FBI / private investigator series. I am reading the Detective D.D. Warren series by Lisa Gardner. I finished reading book 3. As the series name tells you, it's about a detective. a female detective. I just started the Max Revere series by Alison Brennan. I finished reading book 1. This is about an investigative journalist. And I really enjoyed it, so I'm excited to read the second book. And I am continuing to read the Cat Who... series by Lillian Jackson Braun. I finished reading book 19.
What did that cat do this time?
This time, it was about...
Not sniffing glue, I assume.
It was about a thief.
Do-do-do. Do-do-do.
Yes.
Do-do.
And a man and a woman who were con artists. So, okay, let us talk about what we have watched this week. Do you want to start?
Sure. We watched Phantom of the Opera live, recorded live at 25th anniversary at the Royal Albert Hall.
Royal Albert Hall. Yes. That was this week's Andrew Lloyd Webber special.
I'm not watching this week's.
It is.
Love Never Dies. It's the professional recording of the Australian production.
And Dammy doesn't like it. I don't think I've ever seen it.
I don't want to watch it.
Okay, well then I will watch it without you.
Okay.
Okay. We also watched Onward, which was really good. Made me cry. Oh, it's an animated one if you don't know what we're talking about. We also watched Frozen 2. By far the best part of the whole movie was the power ballad.
Who sang it?
What's his name? Kristoff?
Yes.
Kristoff. That's his name. You guys know I'm bad with names. Kristoff.
What's the reindeer's name? What's the snowman's
I know
name?
Elsa and Anna.
What's the snowman's name?
I don't remember.
Wow. Reindeer is Sven.
Sven, yes. And what's the snowman?
Olaf.
Olaf. I was like, it begins with an O, but I couldn't think of what it was.
Ornery.
Yes. And then you watched a movie.
Yes, my friend bullied me until I watched Labyrinth. Again, I rewatched it.
Yes. Yeah. So this is my sister, your aunt's favorite movie in the whole wide world. Mm-hmm. So, okay. I finished series 19 and I'm watching series 20 of Silent Witness. I am almost caught up.
That's bad.
I know. Series 23 is the last series that released. And it's continuing. It's been renewed for another series. It is a
Forensic pathologist.
forensic pathologist. Sorry, my brain. I watch and read so much stuff in this genre that set in the UK, so it's kind of like CSI, but not. I finished watching series 3 of Shakespeare and Hathaway, which was a PI show. It has been renewed for series 4. We finished rewatching season 3, and we're rewatching season 4 of Frasier, which we love and adore. I had to look up and see when Niles and Daphne finally get together, because I couldn't remember.
And when is it?
It's like season 7, I think.
Oh, great.
So, do you remember how they got together?
No.
Do you want me to tell you?
Sure.
She was getting married to somebody else and ran away with him.
Oh my gosh, okay.
In an RV, if I'm remembering correctly.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Oh gosh, and I can't think of what his name is that was who she was supposed to marry, but I can see his face in my brain. We had to look it up. It's Saul Rubinek from Warehouse 13. He plays Donnie, who she's supposed to marry. He was in the show more than B.B. Newirth.
Okay.
I love B.B. Newirth. Okay. Do you want to talk about the next thing? after Frasier?
Oh, yeah. Cabin Fever. John Finmore is still uploading videos to YouTube.
So do you know what the item is?
I have no idea. Someone guessed trombone.
I was about to say that.
And so I sort of guessed in the same vein. Maybe a trombone, maybe a euphonium, or a sousaphone.
Yeah.
It's probably a trombone.
He did 20 questions.
20 questions.
How funny would it be if he could really get some of his fellow people to Skype in? That would be really awesome. I was holding out hope that his mother was actually going to Skype in, but she didn't. We are watching season 3 of The Masked Singer. This last week was a sing-along, which Dammy hated, but that's okay.
It was just a rerun. It was like a clip show.
Yeah.
It was a clip show.
Well, I wanted to make sure that they didn't insert any new clues. But I think it was a 2-hour episode last night that we get to watch tonight.
Oh boy!
You can go to your room and read instead.
For this ethnography, I will be discussing the culture surrounding Fox's The Masked Singer. How weird it is.
Dammy, watch your language.
I did! It scares me. Why would you put Sarah Palin in a Care Bearer costume? Some of these people just really can't sing.
No, some of them really can't. Although we've weeded out enough that most of the people left can actually sing. So, okay, watching season 7 of The Blacklist, season 11 of NCIS LA, and season 6 of New Orleans. Season 1 of my new favorite show, Zoe's Extraordinary Playlist. Season 7 of When Calls the Heart. Season 5 of Outlander. Why does it always have to be snakes? Jamie got bit by a snake and almost died.
That's bad.
It was very bad. There was a bison in the yard.
Get out of there.
Or is bison plural? Or is bison both singular and plural?
No.
I don't know either. The conversation between Jamie and Ian because they thought at one point that they were going to have to amputate Jamie's leg. And there was a conversation between Jamie and Ian, and then there was a conversation between Ian and Fergus that were just like, oh my gosh. Dammy's looking at bison for us.
It's just bison.
Okay. And then Claire saved Jamie in like I was sobbing and then baby Felicity was born.
Who's that?
To Fergus and Marcelly. So that is Jamie's stepdaughter's baby, but also Jamie's adopted son's baby. His adopted son and his stepdaughter got married.
Cool.
Yes. There's no blood relation there.
I just can't envision any sort of family tree for any of this. I have no idea what's going on at any point.
And then Brianna, again, why does it always have to be snakes? Figured out that the particular snake that bit Jamie, apparently its fangs are hollow and it has a venom sac. And so she figured out that they could use that to be able to put penicillin into Jamie's bloodstream.
They invented penicillin.
Claire invented penicillin, yes. Yes, a few weeks ago.
That's good for her.
Yes. So...
It's just mold.
Yes, it is. They had all kinds of mold all over the whole house, trying to figure out...
It must smell wonderful in there. It must be great for baby.
Well, they figured out, like... what
Isn't one of them pregnant and then one of them just had a baby, you said?
Marcelly just had the baby. And their baby is walking.
Oh, never mind.
So,
and that baby is sleeping.
That baby is sleeping. So, and then Prodigal Son, Season 1, and Season 15 of Whose Line Is It Anyway? listening to my favorite murder podcast. Today's podcast was a airline crash that apparently the airplane was coming down at such a steep descent that it broke the sound barrier. And like they, for a long time, this happened quite a few years ago. For a long time, they thought it was just like a small plane that had crashed on a passenger jet because everything just like exploded into like tiny, tiny, tiny little pieces. They thought at first that it was like a commuter plane filled with newspaper. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And then the other one that they covered was the Kent State Massacre, which the 50th anniversary of that is next month, and there were there was a lot of plans to honor that, and there was things planned at Kent State that are not going to be able to happen because of the pandemic. So, yeah. And then I'm listening, of course, to my CC's Faves playlist on Spotify. What are you listening to, Danny?
Cabin Pressure, random Spotify playlists, Songs of Resilience, still linked.
Yes. So, well, that is everything, which is a lot, that we are reading, watching, and listening to. So let's move on to the next segment.
And now we're going to talk about our March, April, May Sheepy Spring Along.
Bah.
Yes, so this started on March 1st and it runs through the 31st of May. It is for any project that you knit, crochet, weave, spin, stitch, or sew that you can convince us is related to spring. There are a couple main rules. The first is that no whips are allowed. Your project must have been begun by...
Before?
No, not before
I
March.
mean, no earlier.
There are a couple main rules. Your project can't have been begun earlier than March 1st and must be finished by March 31st. The other main rule is that each project that you enter into the FO thread must be at least 20 yards. If your project isn't at least 20 yards, you need to group it in a single post together with other projects that together total at least 20 yards.
Yes.
For stitching and sewing, we leave it up to your best judgment. You can feel free to polydip in other alongs as long as it fits in with their rules. That's totally fine. We've got lots of lovely prizes on our screen right now. Thank you so much to our donors. If you are interested in donating a prize for a future along, you can contact Java Pearl on Ravelry or email us at geekygirlsknit.com.
Nope.
At gmail.com.
There you go.
And if you want closer looks at our prizes or to see where they came from, you can tune into the first podcast of each month, or you can go to our show notes at geekygirlsknit.com.
There you go.
You must be a member of the Geeky Girls Knit podcast group on Ravelry in order to participate. There is a hashtag if you'd like to tag your projects or posts on social media. It's GGKCS Spring 20. The FO thread will be locked on the morning of the 1st of June, and winners will be drawn for the next podcast after that. Any winners will have 30 days to claim their prize, or they forfeit it. We have a chatter thread on Ravelry where you chatter, and I congratulate people who finish projects, but I also do that here. So, Crafty Textile Lady, D-Door4, Elsa and M, Falling Star 12, Jodadiah, Elma Call, Little Mermaid, Mary Beth 1199, Meditative Crafter, Mystery Sewer, and Silver Luna 2112.
Great job, everybody. Keep working on those projects. You have about 5 weeks left to get them finished, and then you might win a prize. So, all right, let's move on to the next segment.
Say hello, Stinky. No.
Hello, people. I must tell you that I am a very angry, grumpy kitty.
Tell them what that means. Calm your little heart down, okay?
That means that she's an angry, grumpy kitty.
She says, don't talk to me, I'm angry.
I angry, grumpy. I angry, grumpy.
Can you calm your little heart down?
Yeah, I was sweeping, Dammy.
And now it's time for Ask the Geeky Girls, the part of our show where you ask us questions and we try to answer them. This week's question comes from Kathy, who is Nito Chow from Michigan. Cece, how many pairs of hand-knit socks do you have in your sock drawer? And Dammy, and Dr. Hubs, and Pink.
And Pink is not part of the question. Pink, do you want to answer first so that if you bolt, how many pairs of socks do you have?
I have 0 and I'm so sad about it.
Are you angry, grumpy about it?
I'm so sad.
I don't think she
gosh.
would wear them if I made them for her. I think she wants down.
Say, I love you.
Love you, people.
Say, I love you. She gave you a kiss.
Oh, how sweet. Okay. I counted. Well, we all counted. Well, actually, I counted the Dr. Hubs for him.
Hubs can't count. He has a theology degree.
That might need to be the name of the title of the episode.
You don't take any math. I can't count either. I'm getting a theater degree. The last math class I've taken for the rest of my life was an entire year ago. I don't remember how to do anything anymore.
So I counted and I have 26 pairs of socks. One of them is like a knee-high pair. Remember those fluorescent, like neon color ones I did? And probably like 7 or so pairs of them are shorty socks. What about you? How many pairs of socks do you have?
I have 13. One of those is a knee-high pair. I have one on my shelf that I have not woven in the ends on or worn at all. So that makes 14 total. I had a couple more, but I did put in fabric recycling some of the like really older pairs from like 2013, 2014, 2015 because they were starting to get really old.
Yeah, I got rid of
like
I got rid of a couple pairs, and I think the Dr. Hubs got rid of a pair at least.
Yeah. So I put those in fabric recycling.
Yes. He has 15. Well, once it's his birthday, he'll have 16 pairs of socks, and he wears his quite often, except
he wears
for
them every day.
not right now because pandemic. So
don't infect the socks.
no. So that is it. 26, 14, and 16. How about you? How many pairs of socks do you have?
And how many pairs do your cats have?
She would not wear them, otherwise I would knit her a pair.
Do you have any cats with uneven numbers of feet, with odd numbers of feet, like missing a foot? So if you made them socks, you'd have to make an odd number? Let me know.
Do any of your cats look like they're wearing socks even though they're not?
Do any of your cats look like they're wearing tuxedos, even though they're not?
Tuxedos are cute. Okay. Thank you, Kathy. Sorry, we started...
Thank you, Kathy.
She was asking how many pairs of socks you have, and we are at 4 minutes of recording this segment.
Well, I mean, yeah.
So, thank you so much, Kathy, for asking the question. If you have a question for us, what should they do?
Go to our Ask the Geeky Girls thread in our Ravelry group and post it, or post it in the comments of... YouTube. Or post it in the comments on YouTube, and we'll move it over to our thread.
Yes. Yeah. We're out of questions, so ask questions, please.
Ask Pink questions. You saw she loved answering it.
Oh, she did. She loves it.
She's sitting right here now, and she's letting me play with her tail with my foot.
She is giving you side eye.
I don't care.
I
am lonely.
Do you know that her new nickname is the Incredible Pink?
I heard.
Because she was grumpy this morning.
Did she growl?
No. She was just grumpy.
When was the last time she growled?
I don't remember. Okay. I think we should move on to the next segment. And with that, we've made it to the end of the show. Thanks for sticking with us. We hope you've enjoyed it. Announcement. Just a reminder that Threads Entwined is giving us a 15% off coupon code through the end of May 2020. The coupon code is all lowercase, Geeky15, Geeky15, and the link is in the show notes to get to her shop. I don't think we have any other announcements. We'll be recording right here on this couch for the foreseeable future.
Mm-hmm.
Fun times. So, we'd like to say a big thank you. We love you guys. to everyone who supports the podcast. However it is you support us, just by watching, you are supporting us, and we appreciate you very much. But a big thank you, especially to those of you who support us financially, because it does cost money to do a podcast. If you would like to support us in that way, there are 3 main ways you can do that. First is Patreon, which is a site where you pledge a certain amount of money a month to your favorite creatives, and you earn rewards based on the level you donate at. We had our first virtual knitting/stitching hour over the weekend for the patrons at our $10 and $15 level. But there are lots of rewards. So, Dammy, if somebody would like to know more about that or wants to sign up, where should they go?
Patreon.com/geekygirlsknit.
What is another way?
There's a PayPal button in the side of our website. What are you looking at?
Somebody's having a very aggressive bath.
There is a PayPal button in the sidebar of our website if you would like to make a
And we are Amazon.
More.
Bath time. Bath time during...
She decided bath time is right now.
Yes. We are amazon.com.co.uk and .ca affiliates. If you're going to shop on Amazon, if you go to our site first, find the appropriate Amazon link in the sidebar or at the bottom of the show notes. Do your shopping as normal. We will earn a little money back based on what you purchase. It doesn't cost you anything extra, and it's a great way to support the podcast by doing something you'd be doing anyway.
I have to tell you something.
What do you need to tell me?
I can smell her stinky fish breath.
Yes. She constantly has stinky fish breath. Well, with that, we are going to tell you goodbye. Poor Dammy. She's losing her mind. It's all right, honey. It's all right. It's all right.
No, it's not.
It's going to be okay.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is. It's going to be okay. It's going to be okay. Because you know what? This pandemic is going to end eventually. And in the meantime, we are soothing our soul with craft. So, take care of yourself. Take care of those you love. Make sure and check on people. Texts, Zooms, phone calls, whatever it is. And until next week, happy crafting. We'll talk to you again soon. Bye.
Bye.
Meow meow. I protesting that I not have wet food in my bowl yet. I wait in middle floor. They keep saying not dinner time yet. I'm not happy. Where my wet food? I starving. Feed me, humans. I'm very unhappy.